Hey, Uncle Buck. Man, I just started the stream. Now I have to end it? Jeez. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, I maybe should have given myself an extra hour so I could fucking nap or something. I'm tired. J-Dot! You're here early. Hey, Killface. Oh, I'm fucking broken for I'm fucking broken today. What did I do today? Christmas shopping. Ugly Dan! Holy shit, Ugly Dan! Merry Christmas! 4-year follower and have anyways gifted you. Am I always gifted you? I don't even remember my username. Hope this helps. Thank you for $20, Ugly Dan. You don't remember your old username? Grandpa had surgery on his back last week. I hope he's doing well. Hearts in the chat for Ugly Dan. Hey, Dana. And I suppose hearts in the chat for J. Dot's grandpa. Really so tired. Same here. Hey, Leo. Conveniently, that gift chat. Conveniently, that super chat actually covers something that I bought myself today. So, whee! Am I ready for Christmas? I mean, hey, Bricka. All right. Sorry to see you leave already, Ugly Dan. Hope to see you. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you back here soon. Hope to see you soon. I haven't had dinner yet. I should order myself something, but my mom doing? Fine, I assume. I haven't talked to her today. I will probably be visiting my mom tomorrow. See what the weather's like. No, I took the day off. Hey, Tyler. Ordering it? Yeah. Yeah, I'll be ordering supper. I don't get anything for dinner. Not sure yet. Will we see each other soon? I mean, who the fuck knows? Hey, Nova. Probably not. Have the whole week off. Lucky you. I only have today off. I mean, and the next 2 days. Basically, I took a 3-day weekend. I'm taking a 3-day weekend. Yeah, I mean, as far as like seeing Chantal soon, plane's expensive. Like a flight is really expensive. So, is he doing videos together? So do I. I always like doing videos with her, but bad allergies. I assume that's not fun. I don't really get allergies, so I wouldn't know. Give you a Discord account for Christmas? Nope. Okay, I think I will just get myself some chicken wings for supper. Order it for a bit. I think I'm just gonna get myself some chicken wings in a bit. And to St. Johnson Bay. St. Johnson Bay? 100% leather black jacket and XL with plaid lining. Ooh. No wonder it's $8. Plaid lining? No wonder it's $8. St. John's. St. John's Bay? Never heard of St. John's Bay. Here in Canada, we have Hudson Bay. Hudson Bay. It's a beautiful jacket. Hey, color purple. No worries, Gullface. I'm pretty sure my mom. My mom asked me what I want for Christmas, and I said either books or a jacket, and she asked me my size for jackets. So, listening to Christmas music on YouTube today. Boo! There are so few good Christmas songs. Like for good Christmas music, anything from the Muppets, obviously. Any Muppets Christmas version of a Christmas song is going to be good. So any of their Christmas songs are good. But other than that, um, Fairy Tale of New York. Um, blanking on the name. Shit, I'm totally blank. There's one I'm totally blanking on the name. I think it's called Punk. I think it's called Punk Rock Christmas. Let me check if I've got the right one. Yeah, Punk Rock Christmas by Brenna Red. That's a good one. That might be about it. That honestly might be about it. I don't even like the She and Him Christmas album. Like, I love She and Him. They're great. You know, they're just such a really good band. I listened to their Christmas album and I hated it. When was Christmas? Yes. Yeah, I did the Christmas shopping for my mom and my brother. So now my legs are super tired. My legs and my feet just really sore. Back a little bit too. Not used to doing that much walking anymore. Because like down to the mall and then down to the LCBO and then back home. All told, it was about an hour. I did spend a few minutes sitting down at the mall, but Grandpa loves ribbon candy on Christmas. Ribbon Dancer? I do not. I've never heard of ribbon candy, so the old Perry Como Christmas album. It's a whole vibe at least once here. It probably says something about me that outside of the Muppets, my favorite Christmas song is probably Fairy Tale of New York. Though I should note I'm not a big fan of the Pogues version. There's a couple covers I like. Stars. I really love the Stars version of Fairy Tale of New York. My favorite candy on Christmas. Chocolate, I suppose. Hate the Pogues. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the guy's voice. Just that style of singing voice almost never appeals to me. I'm blanking on the dude's name. It's not a like Pogues aren't a band I've listened to much, so I'm totally blanking on the guy's name. Shane McGowan. Thank you, Scrape Good. Yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan of Shane McGowan's voice. It's not a singing voice that I enjoy. There's a couple, there's a few other singers, there's a few other guys I've heard now and then with similar voices, and it always just takes me to their song. Like Sinead O'Connor did a song called "Haunted." Is a duet with a dude. I forget the name of the dude. Somebody did tell me once, and I've totally forgotten. Hey Jerry. Christmas happens to fall on Wednesday, so it's a day that I'm scheduled off anyway. I'm pretty sure it would have been a day off anyway. Like I'm pretty sure wouldn't have had to work it anyway, but luckily I do. Yeah. Copper cab. No. Gingerbread cookies. I don't. Yeah, I'll be going to my mom's. Which means I have no idea if I will be going live on Christmas Day. I want gingerbread women right now. Gingerbread enbies. My brother cooked dinner. Yeah, I imagine that he'll be doing like the bulk of the cooking. Like I think he'll be doing the bulk of the cooking just because my mom's old enough now that it's tough. Like it's tiring for her. She'll be she'll be helping. She will be helping. She won't be able to help stop herself. But yeah, I think he'll be doing the bulk of the cooking. I would expect anyway. Big beautiful dinner for Christmas. My mom? Yeah, my mom used to make really good Christmas dinners. We'll be helping too. I will be helping by staying out of the way. Like if I need like if they need me for something, then I will. But the kitchen is tiny. That's the thing. The kitchen is so tiny. There's room for one person, barely. So like I imagine that they'll probably have me help a little bit, just like he'll step out for a cigarette, so I'll keep an eye on something, stir the gravy or something like that, just while he's having a cigarette. Like that sort of help. And I'll help with setting the table. I will definitely help with setting the table. Kitchen is huge with no counter space. Inconvenient. Counter space is pretty helpful. Hey, so bring dessert. Yeah. Your Christmas movie is Home Alone. And for me, it's another thing where like I did watch Home Alone back when I was a kid, but like my favorite Christmas movie was Muppet Family Christmas. Your boyfriend is harassing you. Rude of him. They eat cheese pizza from Pizza Hut. Cheese pizza. Ooh. Christmas Story movie. Trying to think of other Christmas movies that I have really watched. They went to a Chinese restaurant. Funnily enough, I didn't actually watch A Muppet Christmas Carol until like mid-20s living with Chantel. I watched it with her. Charlie Brown Christmas. Probably ordering Chinese. Rah, 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 rah. It's the one with Heat and Snow Miser. No idea, Pico. Be home alone for Christmas this year. Didn't even bother putting up the tree. I've been there. And I mean, I suppose as a kid, I did watch, Frosty and Rudolph. Garfield Christmas Show. Yeah. A Year Without Santa Claus. Yeah. Muppet Family Christmas was my thing. We recorded it on a VHS. We recorded it from the TV. We recorded it from the TV onto a VHS. And then every year we would rewatch that VHS. Go take your husband 3 years ago. You want to pass me in August? Uh, yeah, that's rough. All right, I'm actually starting to get hungry, so I'm gonna order my chicken wings now. Hey, Elf. Just making sure there's nowhere else that I might have liked to order from. Suppose I could have tried something from Daffodil. Could have tried their wings. Their wings don't look bad. Your Aunt Billy Sue passed away this week. Aw. I will maybe try Daffodil another time. while I wait for my food, while I was at the mall, I did stop in at the bookstore. Since March, my oldest daughter's been on a ventilator. Not that practice facility. Yeah, that I can definitely understand that, Uncle Buck. That is. So you're a great aunt then. Talking about things I something I bought for myself feels crass when people are talking about, you know, daughter's in a ventilator. My great aunt just died. But yeah, I did stop in at the bookstore. Got myself 2 books. Girl Mode, two graphic novels. So yeah, Girl Mode by Magdalene Visaggio and Paulina Ganushio. It is about a trans girl in high school, just recently transitioned. And basically just learning how to be a girl, basically. Polina Gano show is just phenomenal artist. Yeah, like she's just gorgeous art. No matter. Doesn't. Oh, there it is. Colors by Avery Bacon. I wish they got credited on the cover. No, no, I only picked it up today. Like I just picked it up today. I can go take you to read it. Hard to say because I do want to read. I do want to read Anzuelo by Emma Rios first. I do want to get that one out of the way first. The other one I picked up, The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. It's a teen book, also about a 15-year-old girl. And falls in love with another girl. And again, she's just someone I just love her art. Little Mermaid, sort of. I mean, it's not really Little Mermaid, but yeah, I just really like her art. I've reviewed one of her books before on my channel. I forget which one. I'm gonna look up which. I'm gonna look up what else she's written. Hey, Comic Book. Maybe I didn't read. Maybe I didn't review any of her stuff. I could have sworn I'd reviewed one of her things on here, but maybe not. Yes, The Witch Boy. I did read the. I did do The Witch Boy, the first of the Witch Boy trilogy. You're getting a tattoo? Nice. What was the tattoo? Your mom. Inside a heart. Cool, cool. The Ostertag is somebody I discovered her through webcomic she was doing, Strong Female Protagonist. Little Medieval Tower. Oh, that sounds cute. Yeah. Discovered her through comic she was doing, Strong Female Protagonist. I forget who she was working with on that one. Unfortunately, that one never ended. It's just like it hit a permanent hiatus. I think because she became more successful and started doing more professional work. So she just didn't have the time for the strong female protagonist anymore, which is a shame because that was a really good comic. But it happens. That is the risk with any webcomic, really. That it'll just end. Yeah, that the artist will, or that the cartoons will just stop halfway through. Which Game Awards? I did not watch the Game Awards now. I don't really care enough about video games for that. I don't even know who won. Astrobot won. Oh yeah, I think I did hear something about that. A lot of people were mad. Yeah. Gamers being gamers. Yeah, I mean, award shows are bullshit anyway. Did Alpha Rad win anything? Hey, Val. Like, award shows are mostly bullshit. Three-hour long ad segment. Like, it's really cool to see people whose work you respect get acknowledgement from their peers and everything like that. Awards don't really mean anything. New Elden Ring game. Well, I'm not interested in anything until date everything. I no one cares. I just can't help it. You know. Fair. Cuddling with your cat. Aww. Oh hey, date everything does finally have a release date. February 14th. Valentine's Day. That's appropriate. That's very appropriate that it's releasing on Valentine's Day. Considering the premise is about dating is about dating. Let's date everything. So it is a dating sim, but it's about dating anything in your own home. Why was horny censored? Because YouTube, I guess. Yes, YL. So yeah, you're dating things like dating sim. So yeah, it's anthropomorphized. Debate the use of bitch again. Hey Claire. So yeah, it's anthropomorphizations of like objects. So you're dating like an anthropomorphized version of a clock or a fire alarm, a shelf. Various things around your object, around your home. Yeah, it's just dating various things around your home, around the home. It looks ridiculous. Also, overwhelming sense of existential dread. You can date your overwhelming sense of existential dread. Mind of that game where you're hiding as random objects? I would date the vacuum from the Brave Little Toaster. The game looks ridiculous. Like, it looks genuinely ridiculous, but that's sort of the point. 100 dateable characters. Fully voice acted. Going to play it on stream? Of course. Hey, Waffles. Of course we'll be playing it on stream. So yeah, 100 dateable characters, 3 endings for each dateable character, and it's fully voice acted. I am expecting that each object is probably, that each, can we do all 303 endings? Would be 300. 100 characters, and unless there is one for ending up alone or something. I don't know that we'll do all 300 endings. Like, I don't know that we'll do that many, but we'll do a bunch. We'll do a lot of them. Hey, Beetlejuice. And are there any other? Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. That is a game coming out next year that I may want to play. Do a lot of it. So I was talking about the game Date Everything. It is a game where you date anthropomorphized versions of objects around the home. There's 100 dateable characters, with each one having 3 endings. So 300 endings. I was saying we'll do a bunch of them. We'll do a bunch of the endings for Date Everything. Do they acknowledge each other? No idea, Vanna. I don't really know. Is there a whisk? Probably. I would not be at all surprised if there's a whisk. How do they get that many voice actors? I mean, it's entirely possible that a fair number might be like, you know, this voice actor does 10 different characters or something like that. You know, there are voice actors who do multiple characters in different games just because they've got, you know, just because they're capable of it. I date a rollerblade. I think she'd be cool. Maybe. Electronics seem like that had an unfair advantage. Depends on the electronic. I like the name Yvonne. Okay. Food's almost here. Give me a minute. I got to refill my water before my food gets here. Ugh. Oh man, I'm so sore. Ugh. I date the square glass. I date a mirror. I date your mom. Hey, Nadine. Walked to Timbuktu and back. I did do a lot of walking. I walked. I'd spent like an hour. I walked for like an hour today. I was doing the Christmas shopping, so I went to my mom. I went to the. I went to the mall. Then I went to the LCBO. So it was about an hour's worth of walking, and I'm just really not used to that anymore. It's been a long time since I like regularly did longer walks. And I'm almost 40. So I'm old and out of shape, and walking just tired me out. Luckily, sidewalks were clear of snow, so I didn't have snow bug me either. Cold. It wasn't actually particularly cold. It's actually above freezing. It is above freezing, so anyway, speaking of which, my food's here, so be back in a minute. One second, just gotta salt my wedges. Ugh. 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 Debating and ordering McDonald's. I would advise against it. We'll get chicken wings and potato wedges from Pizza Pizza. Dog is gonna be dessert. No ketchup. Here's a weird thing. You're required to order ketchup packets, and they never bring them. I don't want them anyway, but has it bit me yet? No. No, it has never bitten me. Yeah, like when I order, like when I place the order for wings and wedges, it does like, if you like ketchup packets, minimum order of 3. Like it's sort of like you need to order ketchup, and then they don't bring the ketchup. And I was like, okay, so why are you asking me to? It's weird. Thank God, no tip left after giving me a 500. Got on dating sites again? Nope. I actually have a couple of times. I have popped back on, and after like 2 minutes, I was like, oh, "Fuck!" I didn't. Now I remember why I didn't. Now I remember why I stopped coming on them. Yep. 2 minutes on a dating site is enough to remind me why I don't want to use a dating site. It's just tedious. I remember Beetlejuice. I'm at my last accident dating site and they yelled at me for not playing the board game right. Yeah, so many people on there don't even bother filling out their profile. Like they put nothing. It's like, well, no point messaging you because I have no fucking clue what the hell you're interested in. Another annoying one is, oh, don't message me with small talk. Would you prefer I message you with to ask your opinion on Nietzsche? Like, what the fuck do you want, lady? You may only write just ask. Yeah. Hey, Barbara. I put what drugs I'm looking for. So yeah, people on dating apps are what? People on dating apps are just so many of them are just boring. Hey, Icky. Like my profile is going to turn people off. I like movies. I like to play poker. I like to hunt. Like my profile is going to turn people away, but at least there's fucking interest. At least there's fucking information on there. Like at least it's something for people to go for someone to go on. Don't chew the bone. I do not chew the bone. No, not on stream. I want to be. I don't chew it on stream. Rich dog lover favorite dish sushi. Put that in your bio. I have not. I have not put in my 2 weeks yet. Entirely like, I don't know that I'll even bother putting in 2 weeks notice. I might just like, I'll probably just like go in like 2 or 3 hours late one night and be like, hey, I can't do this shit anymore. You were swiping and their bio said, I love watching what I message. Nope. Swipe right. Right is no, right? Like, right is no. You can't remember. You swipe left for yes and right for no? Or is it the other way around? Another job? No. No, I haven't even started looking for another job. Left is no? Okay. Then I would swipe left. I would click the no button. I don't wash my hands. Give me a moment. Yeah, if they watch me, I'd be like, this person is clearly mentally unwell, and I can't take the risk with them. Potato wedges. Sweet potato wedges, which are very similar to fries. What is a fry if not a particularly thin potato wedge? Fry is a potato wedge on a Zempic. There you go. YouTube full time. I mean, like, while I'm out of work, I'll come on every day. but I will be looking for a different job. Saying potato wedges a fry, placing Pepsi as Coke because they're both pop. I didn't say potato wedges are fries. I said fries are potato wedges. I like the chip. Oh, gods no. No, I hate this job. I'm as excited about. Yeah, presumably, like right at the start, before I realized just how fucking shitty it is. Potato wedges taste like fried, long baked potatoes. They're okay, but too much filling. I like potato wedges. Too many potatoes, not enough chicken. Yeah. I'm basically satisfied, so. Made a quiche with chopped up leftover McDonald's fries instead of crust, and it was actually pretty good. All right. Odd, but okay. Gotta say, I am thirsty today. I want to get beer to walk down them taters. Because I don't like beer. I don't like the taste of beer. Beer's the best. Yeah. I tried to like it, but ultimately I just don't. Cool beer and potatoes. Best way to end the day. Yeah, sure. If you're into that sort of thing, yeah, absolutely. I try to like myself, but ultimately I just don't. I feel that. Hey, super chat. Craigslist. No. Keep thinking you're gonna find a gig hosting a condo in downtown Toronto that right next to a comic store. Doubtful. Hey, Java man. No, for jobs I mostly check Indeed. Indeed.ca is the place I normally go. My opinion, Justin Trudeau. I'm not really a fan. There has definitely been a level of corruption in his, um, you know, during his time in office. Um, some of his policies not particularly keen on. I wish he was further to the left. I would have preferred NDP government, honestly. My preference would be an NDP government, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Justin Trudeau or Justin Timberlake? I mean, I'm not keen on either. Like the NDP actually did have a shot at a minority government while uh, while Jack Layton was in charge of it. It was still a slim shot, even with him. But he was that's the last time the NDP actually had a chance, and it's going to be a long time before they've got before they find another Jack Layton. Like Singh is fine, but you know, it does suck so bad that we are about to get Poilievre. Because it's very likely that the election will be called very soon. He's there's just no real trust in him anymore. So it's very likely that the next federal election will be called soon. Do you think Trudeau will step down? It's hard to tell because there's no one to take his place, that as far as I can tell. Like, like who takes over for leadership? Um, no idea. I have no idea what my brother will be doing for, because he's going to be in charge of it. So I don't know what he's going to be making. Yeah, for Trudeau, like I honestly don't know who could take over leadership of the Liberal Party right now. They haven't really. They haven't really been trying to position someone else. Sure as hell not going to be Freeland. She's almost as hated as Trudeau. And then you add in the standard misogyny that women in politics all face. So it's sure as hell not going to be her who takes over leadership of the Liberal Party. But they haven't. There's no one else who can. Like, there's no one else in a position to do that. Quiznos? I think we have Quiznos. I don't think Cornwall does. I'm pretty sure Canada does. I don't. Do we? I'm not actually sure if Cornwall has a Quiznos. What the Liberals should have been doing is starting like 5 years ago. They should have been, they should have chosen someone who could take over after Trudeau. Start, you know, start building that person up, and probably like smart thing probably would have been to have that person, so build that person up as someone who is disconnected from and slightly in opposition to Trudeau. Because like it was always going to be something where Trudeau's always been pretty divisive. Christia was that person, but no, don't know about now. The problem is that she has always been too closely aligned with, too closely associated with Trudeau. I think it would have been useful to have it be somebody who's not in his cabinet. Somebody who wasn't actually in his cabinet would have been a smart way of going about it. Because like Freeland can, be like, oh, I don't always agree with everything Trudeau suggested, it wasn't always on his side. But it's like, yeah, but you were his finance minister. You were still implementing his policies. That's why they did this public breakout. Still implementing his policies. That's why they did this public breakout, because they're up to be a leader. Probably. The thing is, people hate her. Like, it's not going to work at all. Like, they did the same thing with Paul Martin. Back when Chrétien was getting a lot more, getting a lot less popular, and, was getting ready to step down, had Martin, Paul Martin, sort of start publicly like, I didn't agree with everything. He start publicly distancing himself from Chrétien. And it didn't really work for him. Now, part of that is because Martin didn't have a whole lot of personal charisma to begin with himself. Yeah, he wasn't the most charismatic figure. But there's also the fact that, he did have that association with Chrétien. He had been implementing Chrétien's policies. See, I think it would have been useful to have somebody who wasn't part of the cabinet spend the past 5 years sort of gradually building up a certain level of being un-Trudeau. We don't vote leaders in, we vote leaders out. That's kind of true. Kind of true. Like, that is actually kind of true. Like, we didn't vote for Trudeau. We voted against Harper. We didn't vote for Harper. We voted against Martin and Chrétien. Even Chrétien, we didn't vote for Chrétien. We voted against Mulroney. Like, there is definitely an element of every 10 to 15 years. Every 10 to 15 years, we just decide, no, that's enough of you. Get out. That's enough of your party. Get out. We're bringing the other party back in for their turn. Pretend it's around. We do the hokey pokey and we turn the leaders around. I think it'd be turn the leaders out. Actually, turn the leaders out. That actually would work. We turn the leaders back. That would actually work too. But yeah. Poilievre is going to get in, not because people like him, because they don't. People don't actually like Poilievre. Everyone thinks he's kind of an asshole. Everyone thinks that he gives kind of asshole vibes. He's just got asshole vibes to him. So everyone thinks that he's like, nobody likes him. But he's not Trudeau. It's not the Conservative. It's not the Liberal Party. People are tired of the Liberal Party, so they're going to go with the Conservative Party. So he'll get his 10 or 12 years, at which point people will be utterly fed up with the Conservative Party, and they'll vote the Liberal Party back in. I am a little bit worried about Ontario. Because, like, I honestly don't know how Ontario is going to go in the next provincial election. Because Doug Ford's been in office for a while. Doug Ford's been premier for a while and has been incredibly controversial the entire time, incredibly divisive. In no small part because of his just blatant corruption. So it feels like people should be ready to get rid of him. The question is, will the general anger at the Liberal Party as a whole carry over into the provincial election to help him win the provincial election again? I'm hoping that people will also be like, yeah, we're fed up with Trudeau, but we're also fed up with you, Dougie. One of something that's kind of wild about Canada. The Prime Minister's house is unlivable. Geese. That too. Yeah, 24 Sussex Drive. Like there's was it unlivable? Oh, it's there hasn't been enough upkeep. Hey, Kat. I mean, basically, yeah, Kat. Like basically, like the build as of 20. Here's what it says on Wikipedia. As of 2023, the building was infested with rodents, and the walls, attic, and basement are filled with carcasses and excrement. In May 2023, work began to strip the property of asbestos and to remove obsolete mechanical, heating, and electrical systems, which were the reasons that the building was deemed a fire hazard. So yeah, the heating and cooling systems, the wiring, the roofing, all in poor condition. Let's get the trifecta out. 19th century. Yeah. Completed in 1868. So yeah, it was built in the 1860s. And there have been a few. Like, there's been genuine discussion of just knocking it down. It would literally cost less to demolish the building and rebuild it. Literally. Fixing up the building would cost more than just completely replacing it. So it's possible to keep old buildings going. Yeah. A lot of people who live in towns, unlivable conditions also. Yeah. Where's Prime Minister? Currently lives in Rideau Cottage, I believe. Yeah, so currently he's living, Trudeau's family are living in Rideau Cottage. Which is usually inhabited by people associated with Canada's Governor General. Basically, the Prime Minister of Canada lives in the Governor General's backyard. Yeah. So Rideau Hall can have a lot of royal buildings. So like Great Britain. I mean, not. I wouldn't say a lot. Yeah. So Rideau Hall is the official residence of the Governor General. The Governor General, for those in the U.S., is basically a representative of the of the British monarchy. Basically, the Governor General is their. It's honestly, it's at a totally outdated, antiquated position. But technically, traditionally, what they were was just they were a representative of the crown. They were a representative of the British monarchy. You keep an eye on us colonials. Yeah, the representative of the monarch. These days, it is mostly a ceremonial role. And yeah, they live at Rideau Hall. And then on the grounds of Rideau Hall, there is a cottage, Rideau Cottage. So yeah, the Prime Minister of Canada is living in the guest house. Like, is living in the Governor General's guest house. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, it's genuinely embarrassing when you when you start to think about it. Like, I should probably get the Prime Minister a proper home. Yeah, that says something. It does. It was wild. It would apparently cost something like $30 million to renovate Sussex Drive, 24 Sussex Drive. Not that much. You don't that's not that much money. And we can't fucking give that? Like, we can't fucking do that? So the Prime Minister of the country, the leader of our country, actually has a fucking home? It's wild. Rideau Cottage isn't big enough for the staff to actually cook meals. They have to keep, like, the staff cooks the meals at Sussex Drive and then brings them to Rideau Cottage. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, I get the Canadians are supposed to be humble and everything, but there are fucking limits to that, you know? But fixing it up seems to be just like bipartisan apathy. Sure, Trudeau's have some generational wealth, but that is it. Sure. But, yeah, but I mean, it's also the fact that, like, because it is a government building, I don't know that Trudeau would actually be allowed to, like, use his own money to fix it up. It would need to go through it would need to go through official government channels, and there just seems to be absolutely no real interest in it. For some reason, there's just nobody's like the entirety of Parliament is like just ignoring it. Trudeau's not making an issue out of it. Poilievre hasn't been making an issue out of it to be like, it's like I would think that Poilievre would be like, this is a historic building and Justin Trudeau is letting it rot away. But no, he's like, even Poilievre isn't hammering Trudeau about it. Even he's not, like, even he seems to be indifferent to it. Like, nobody seems to care. I would think the people might even donate hours to clean it up. Well, no, I mean, you'd need professionals. Again, government, historic, like a historic building. You would need actual professional people to go in and do it. I think the issue with it is everyone is completely on the fence about whether to like renovate it or replace it. Like, I think what's going on is it's not a particular, like, I don't think that it is particularly a special building, aside from the fact that it is where the prime minister lived for so long. The fact it was the prime minister's official residence for decades. But from an architectural standpoint, it's nothing particularly special. Sold thousands of dollars to truck that Statue of Liberty's in school to help renovate Ellis Island. And I'm sure that was a dump. But yeah, so like, architecturally speaking, I don't think there's anything particularly special about the building. But it has, what did spend over a century as, I'm not sure how long, but it did spend decades, or I think even over a century. It did spend over a century, I think, as the official residence of the Prime Ministers of Canada, which arguably makes it a historic building. Live about as far away from Ellis Island as you can get. Brooklyn? I don't know. But yeah, it's... I think people are torn between, like, do we renovate this historic building, or do we just knock it down and put something new in its place? I think everyone's on the fence about which of those is the right way to go, and thus nothing gets done. But it's just so wild to me. It's one of those things where it's like, make a choice and follow through with it. Do both. Shit, do both. Build a new residence for the Prime Minister somewhere, and then do some renovations on Sussex Drive as a historic building for tourism money. Other side of the country. Why I did that is sort of a mystery. Make it a museum, build proper residence. Yeah, like, do both. Like, we are not a poor country. We are not poor. We have the money. It would not be an expensive undertaking. Canada's not that thrifty, right? I mean, I suppose we do actually have a pretty big deficit. We actually do have a pretty large deficit. But when you got a deficit in the billions, then, what's 30 million to build a new house and another 30 million to rent to fix up Sussex as a museum. It's easily affordable. Alternatively, abolish the position of the Governor General, because why the fuck are we still following the goddamn monarchy? Do away with it. Declare that we no longer follow the monarchy, abolish the position of the Governor General, and hey, there's a nice big house for the Prime Minister to move right into. With a nice little cottage for guests to stay in as well. You got a landmark and not a feces dump. I think that's actually my ideal solution. Abandon the monarchy, abolish the position of the Governor General, Prime Minister moves into Rideau Hall, Rideau Cottage gets kept as somewhere that guests can stay. And then over the next few years, renovate Sussex Drive into a museum. There's my solution. The problem, of course, is abandoning the monarchy. Ooh, we can't abandon the monarchy. We can't abandon the monarchy. Why not? Because it's been a part of us for so long. It's been a part of our tradition from the beginning. Mystery ex-Prime Minister Library. Clinging to traditions just because they're traditions is so weird to me. At least move out of the monarchy's pool house. Yeah, like it's why, like, the monarchy gives, like, there's no benefit to remaining under the monarchy. Like, I don't know, maybe someone can explain, maybe I'm missing something, but as far as I can tell, there's no benefit to it at all. It's just, it's tradition. Whether it serves a purpose or not, it's tradition. Why don't I wear a kilt? Because I don't own a kilt. I would actually like to get a kilt. With the proper Robertson tartan. Was Canada's official position of monarchy? Oh, I mean, like, we're like, officially we are still under the British monarchy. Like, it's basically the same position that England or Scotland or Northern Ireland have. Yeah, it's basically the same thing as any other Commonwealth country has. We are still part of the Commonwealth. Yeah, we're still part of the Commonwealth. So officially, we are still, a colony of the British Empire, British Commonwealth. We're still officially under the rule of the monarchy. But practically speaking, we don't give a shit what the king says. We don't give a shit what the king or queen says. They can't fucking boss us around. If King Prince Charles came over and started trying to issue orders to us, we'd be like, dude, no. It's not how it fucking works, guy. I still like to call him Prince Charles because it's just hilarious to me. It amuses me to keep calling him Prince Charles. To tell your Prime Minister where to live. But yeah, it's not like Prince Charles can order us to implement some new policy. Yeah, we would if he tried to tell us, we'd be like, no, we are going to we'll introduce a bill. We'll debate it. Whether we pass it or not, that's nothing to do with you. Cheetah would probably stay in a hotel to find the best place for Charles. I think I don't know where Charles would stay. Probably in Rideau Hall. He would probably stay in the Governor General's mansion. You can't do that in his country either. Exactly. England at least has the excuse of tourism money. I don't think they bring in enough money to be worth the cost, frankly. But England can at least argue, hey, the monarchy does still bring in tourist money. Canada doesn't even have that. We're not getting any tourist money for being part of the Commonwealth or for for still having Elizabeth on our Queen Lizzie on our money. We have no reason to still pretend to care about the monarchy. We don't. We have no fucking reason for it. We should just abandon it. With Elizabeth dead, there isn't even the excuse of Scott Thompson's Queen Elizabeth impression anymore. Hello! Hello, Canada! Just get your big main guy a proper home. Yeah. I will say, if Willie Everett does win, which I think is likely, I wouldn't actually be particularly surprised if the situation with Sussex Drive does get sorted out one way or the other. Like, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Poilievre decides to just make a decision, force through a decision. I don't know that it actually is the prime minister's choice to make. Even is the weird thing. The National Capital Commission are the ones who administer, or the ones who are in charge of land and buildings owned by the government of Canada in Ottawa. And obviously, the prime minister appoints the minister in charge of the capital commission. But I don't think the prime minister actually, like, the prime minister doesn't really get to say, you know, I don't know that they actually get to make the decision. Like, I don't think the prime minister actually gets to make a decision about what happens with those buildings. It's just, it is in charge. Like, I don't know if genuinely, I have no idea if the prime minister would get to say, hey, this is what's going to happen. Regardless, though, I wouldn't actually be particularly surprised if Poilievre does just come in and be like, yeah, enough's enough. We're renovating Sussex so I can move in. Because I suspect that he wants to move in. Like, I think he would want. I think Poilievre. I feel like Trudeau is just kind of fine living in the cottage. Like, I don't think that he's particularly bothered by it. I don't think he feels the need for the big house. Poilievre, I think, like, he wants the esteem of living in Sussex. Canada's kind of known for keeping things up properly. A lot of things Canada is known for, we shouldn't be. Canada is known for a lot of things that aren't particularly accurate. We're a pretty fucked up country. But yeah, I think he wants the esteem of living in the prime minister's residence. You know? Trudeau, it's like, well, I mean, I can work in the cottage. Yeah, I can get my work done. Not that it's used much for work anyway, but I think it's just sort of like one of those things where, like, house is a house. I do most of my work up on Parliament. I can still get a little bit of work done here at the cottage when I need to. It's fine. It's serviceable. One place to live is as good as another. It's fine. Pierre, I think, will be like, no. I'm prime minister. I'm living in the prime minister's residence. Hey, Buttercup. He just seems that petty that he'd want the official residence. Yeah, that's sometimes the case, you know, where for some people the esteem is almost more important to them than the actual job. Like, you know, they want to be seen as leaders more than they actually want to be leaders. Your roads are better. I mean, that varies. That does vary a little bit. Um, One thing for that though, we sort of need to do a lot of upkeep on our roads. Winter, like for a lot of Canada, winter does a huge number on our roads. We need to do constant work on them. You know, there's definitely parts of there's definitely parts of the U.S. that get brutal winters as well. You know, northern U.S. gets some brutal winters. Can I pull it off? I don't know. Part of it for the U.S. might be building new roads is sexier than maintaining existing ones. You know, from a political standpoint, being able to get a photo op of you breaking ground on a new road, that's going to be a much better photo op than just construction crews doing regular road work on the existing roads. I do remember reading years and years ago. This is years and years ago that I read it, but I do remember reading that argument. I think it was right around. I think it might have been shortly after a bridge collapse. Like it was short. I believe it was shortly after a very uh, like one of those bridge collapses that got like a lot of attention. And I was talking about lack of infrastructure maintenance in the US. And the argument that was being made was that politicians would rather the photo op of breaking ground on a new road than they would than they do than they would actually just keep existing infrastructure in proper maintenance. On the topic of bridge maintenance, actually, we won't cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, yeah. Don't cross the bridge because who the fuck knows when it was last taken care of. To have driven from northern U.S. through Canada and up to Alaska. I guess doesn't do so as well. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, actually, I was wrong. I was wrong about something. So, Canadian engineers wear an iron ring. Many do, actually. Anyway, there's a lot of Canadian engineers wear an iron ring. There was there's a common myth that the rings were made from beams from Quebec Bridge, which collapsed in 1907. But it seems that's actually false. All right. I actually first heard about that story in a comic book. Bridges I know nothing of. Yes, the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, written by Canadian Ryan North, talked about that the iron rings worn by Canadian engineers, and it used the story that it was that they were made from metal from a collapsed bridge, but apparently it was actually not true. Wonder if I should make. I wonder if I should aware. Wonder if I should tell Ryan North that it was fault that he was incorrect. Kate Norton McDonald, because you can recommend against it. I'm my own personal listen to no one. Well, I hope it gives you nasty shit, Beetlejuice said. Because that's what it always did to me. I will admit, there are times where, I stopped buying McDonald's mostly because there was a bit of a boycott against it because of its support for the IDF, Israeli Defense Force. Yeah, I decided, you know what? Sure, I'll join that boycott. There are times where, in all honesty, I do miss it. Yeah, where it's like, man, I could go for some McDonald's. What I don't miss are the nasty shits that it always gave me. Because it was like every time I got McDonald's, I would spend the rest of the night back and forth between the toilet. And I absolutely do not regret not having to do that. It's just not great. I do like the ice cream. The ice cream's good, yeah. They do have good ice cream. Breakfast is the best part of the menu. Yeah, I mean, McDonald's is one of those things that's like it's shit. Like it is garbage food. It's terrible food. And yet, I think because I had it, as a kid, because it was a treat as a kid, you know, I just sort of associated with that. Pepperoni pizza. Aw. So yeah, I I do like I do enjoy eating McDonald's. Like I did always enjoy eating McDonald's, despite the fact that it is terrible food. But as I said, I do not miss what it did to me. And yeah, the ice cream, the milkshakes, the oh shit. That's just shakes. Not just the shakes, it is the food. The shakes definitely hurt. The shakes definitely hurt too, but it was the food. Because like even like before I was like even when I'd get Sprite, even when I didn't get it, like even when I didn't get a shake, McRib. I never actually had the McRib. All right, I am tired, so I'm gonna get going for tonight. I will be on tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure what time I'll come on tomorrow. It's going to depend on what time I get back from my mom's. So, because I will probably go over to my mom's tomorrow, weather permitting. So, see y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.